this next tutorial is for a two camera edit. Now, I did my tutorial on a one camera edit using continuity. And I'm just going to show you something really cool on Premiere. I'm going to create a new bin. And I'll call this one camera edit. So the problem is, if you want to start a new project, some people have to like make a new Premiere project by going File, New Project. But I'm going to show you how to make a new sequence within a project. So I'm just going to grab all these icons here, and zoom in. Woo! Zoom out a bit. And I'm just dragging it into this bin. It's like a folder. And I can collapse it, and it's just organized as one. What I'm going to do is create another bin or folder, and two camera edit. And essentially, you can do both projects in one, both sequences in one project, if that makes sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is imagine you downloaded your footage. Now, here's another way you can actually import footage as well. If you open your Finder and you have your footage, you can click and drag it into two camera edit, and it should import. Okay, so it didn't go in the folders. I'll just drag it into. Oh, actually, no, it did. Sorry. It did. Okay, great. So I'm just going to take a look at my footage. And this camera shot is just a, I had one student, I think it was Rudy, that was just filming the overall production. So you can see the whole sequence of events happening. So we don't need this, but it's a good reference if you want to use. All right. Now, what we're going to do here with the two camera edit is we're going to make a new sequence. Okay. We're going to go File, New, Sequence, or Command N. I'll call this two camera edit. Actually, it's probably better if you last name, first name. Okay. And I don't care about my settings because I can change it afterwards. Okay. And I'll bring this into the two camera edit bin. So notice there's two sequences here, my original one and my new two camera edit. So I know I got to bring in my two camera views in. So I'm just going to bring them into video 2, and then yes, always ask to change sequences, and bring the other one on the layer below. Either or, right? We'll expand on the audio by clicking on these little triangles here that kind of accordion the information, and you can click and drag the zoom in, zoom out. Now the key thing is, and I'm just going to play the first video here on my source. We should hear a nice clapping sound. Right. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that clap through the video, but there's a clap sound. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to hide video 1 and audio of video 1, and I'm going to look for that spike. All right, so this is all filler stuff right here, and the spike. Okay, so if I zoom in on this point here, I can see that the spike, and you can see the audio right here, guys. If I zoom in, peaks. Okay, so this is a good indicator that this is where I gotta meet the audio together. Okay, I'm gonna now mute and then hide video 1 and expose video 1. Sorry, video 2 and audio 2 hide, and in video 1 and audio 1 expose. So we should see that. All right, so this looks like right here that these two sound waves are the clap sounds that I want to match. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, click on this, drag it until I get closer. Now, cool thing with Premiere, the more you zoom in, the more control you have in the milliseconds and frames. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over, and wow, I was able to match the clapping sound visually. Let's see. Awesome. With that sound bite right there, I know that this is now linked. Now, the fun begins. I'm going to zoom back out. Once you've done that, leave everything alone, and you can pick and choose to what cut you want. So in this case, I probably want to expose right, so I'm going to actually use C for cut, or you can use the razor tool right here, and I will cut both footage. Press V for selection, and essentially I'll select all these and delete it. Be careful, select all items. Don't just select one at a time, then you'll keep them out of sync. I bring this to the beginning. Right? And here, I can pick and choose cut, and actually just select the top one. Press V. And I'll unlink it. So I can just trim that portion, and then it'll expose this shot. Actually, in retrospect, get Griffin out of frame there. So another thing I can do is just drag that over. Oops. Command A, select everything, and just drag everything over again. All right. So we'll start off with a shot. Okay, so I just heard action, so we want that out. So let's cut everything here. Command A, select all, bring it back. Okay, so we'll start off with a medium shot. I'm going to do the same thing, cut. So just select nothingness. Cut here. Delete that section. And whether you want the audio from it's up to you. You can unlink it if you like. And just trim that portion. So, here we go. And then we'll do a cut here. V. Oops, Command Z. I'm going to unlink that. And just remove the video part. So really I'm just using two cameras. Okay, and then cut there. Now, the cool thing with the multi-camera view, if I go back a step, let me bring the original footage in. If you wanted to go back into another shot of her hand, you could. I just don't find as an editor that I need this shot again. So if you wanted to, you could cut, delete, and you could bring in that shot again. But for me, like as an editor, I don't feel like that shot's needed. I just really wanted this overhead shot of her typing. And it's synchronized. Go to the end where she finishes last sentence. Cut. That footage there. Use V for selection. Or you can just use your mouse, click and drag, and highlight those areas. And delete. And there's a nicely edited, synchronized footage. You'll save the project. And when you go to export, guys, export the media, you're only selecting this sequence. So then you would H.264. Just make sure you know you're saving it. This is going to be in, box will pop up any second. Okay, leave my desktop for now. I'm okay with that, and I'll export. And that's how you do a two-camera edit by sync up the audio. Good luck.